And in a desperate attempt, they're trying to somehow tie President Trump to the scandal. President Trump has nothing to do with it. He has said himself he has nothing to hide.
He said it himself. Is that not enough for you people? He's never misled us before.
I've not been a fan of this man's. I don't like how he talks to us. I don't like how he talks to the nation. So I have not really had much to say until he started running.
So picture this, Donald Trump minding his business, and then boom, Jimmy Kimmel and Whoopi Goldberg tag team roast him so brutally that the studio audience practically needed emotional support. We're talking jokes so sharp they could file taxes. The reaction's legendary. The aftermath, internet on fire. And yes, Trump responded, and it somehow made everything even funnier. Stick around because this breakdown is comedy history in the making, and you don't want to miss a second.
Don't forget, Musk publicly threatened to drop a big Epstein bomb on Trump. But now I guess they're cool. It was a parade of the unpleasant, and no one seemed to be enjoying themselves less than Melania.
50 years I've had this right. And here you've snatched this right out of my hands. You've taken my right as a woman to make decisions about myself, and you're bragging to me, and you want me to give you my vote?
Jimmy launched into the topic like someone who'd just been given unlimited permission to roast without consequences. He came in swinging with that trademark grin that says, "I'm about to say something I shouldn't, but I'm going to anyway." The crowd sensed mischief before he even finished the first sentence. And by the time he compared Trump's decision-making to a toddler driving a forklift, the room was already falling apart.
Which means the bill now goes to the White House, which means Trump's going to have to sign it. The goal was to have the bill passed by such a large margin that Trump can't put his little orange thumb on the scale and give it the old Cheeto veto. But make no mistake, this isn't over. He's not giving up easy. If anyone thinks he's going to release all the Epstein files, I've got a beautiful East Wing of the White House.
Whoopi took over like someone who came equipped with a flamethrower and a permission slip. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't rush. She just settled into her chair like she'd been waiting all month to do this. The first jab wasn't even loud. It was casual, as if she were recapping a sitcom plot about a guy who keeps getting into trouble and still insists he's a hero.
That man has something to say to me.
Oh.
He saw a meme. You know who? Saw a meme that said I was leaving the country. People always see these crazy memes that I'm going to leave the country if he gets in there. Somebody else thought I was leaving, was sending suggestions for people to take my place. Look, I'm not going anywhere.
Even the band looked like they were struggling to stay upright. And that was only the warm-up. Jimmy made Trump sound like a man whose life goal was to collect scandals like Pokemon cards. Every time one gets resolved, another magically appears in his inventory. The audience didn't even get time to breathe before Jimmy dropped a punchline so ridiculous that a camera operator nearly lost composure mid-shot.
So they ate, and then Trump kept the party going at the U.S.-Saudi Investment Forum, where Prince Salman and the Burger King made a very dramatic entrance. It's going on! Are they about to wrestle the Iron Sheik?
She compared Trump's ego to a skyscraper built on Jell-O, wobbling with every headline. The studio audience slid right into hysterics. And Whoopi didn't even pretend she was finished. She dropped roasted metaphors like coupons during a liquidation sale, making Trump sound like a man who wakes up every morning determined to set a personal record in public embarrassment.
And it's not for the reason, you little snowflake. It's not for the reason you think. He said nobody wanted me. Honey.
We want you, Whoopi.
Well, you know what? It wouldn't matter if no one here wanted me. Thank you. But I know where I'm going to be because I got a contract. So I'm going to be here where I'm wanted for the next couple of years.
Jimmy dove right back in with the confidence of someone who'd been given legal immunity in comedic form. He painted a picture of Trump walking around with an invisible gold medal around his neck for achievement in drama creation. Then came the imagery. Trump staring into a mirror, giving himself pep talks like he's starring in a motivational sports film that no one else agreed to produce. The punchline landed with the precision of a drone strike, and the audience reacted like they just witnessed a sporting victory. Producers were throwing looks across the stage as if someone might need to activate an emergency comedy shutoff valve. Whoopi returned with deadly composure, like a strategist who knew exactly where the soft spots were. She took a magnifying glass to Trump's habits, describing them like bizarre personality quirks you'd see on a questionable reality show about a billionaire trying to be relatable. She roasted him for treating every television appearance like an audition for his own documentary, even when no documentary exists. The way she broke down his dramatic reactions had the audience making noises usually reserved for roller coasters.
After an almost unanimous vote by Congress, Trump's cronies in the Department of Justice still have the power to withhold information to protect ongoing investigations, to protect innocent people, or for reasons of national security. The DOJ can withhold entire documents, photos, and or video. But they would never do anything like that, would they? They're sworn to protect the Constitution of the United States. Something's fishy. Trump rolled over faster than that dog Ghislaine Maxwell gets to play with in her country club prison.
If Trump ever watched the playback, he'd need a week off just to recover from the ego injuries. Jimmy kept things rolling with the energy of someone who had consumed 3 espressos and a legal waiver. He started listing Trump's behavior patterns as if they were part of a wildlife documentary. With each one, the crowd got louder, mirroring the structure of those nature programs where the narrator reveals yet another strange mating ritual. Except here, the ritual was attention-seeking. Trump was described as a man powered entirely by headlines, as if his nervous system was wired directly into cable news graphics. When Jimmy finished, the applause sounded like a celebration of survival. Whoopi didn't pick up the thread. She yanked it. She roasted Trump as a man who thinks the world is constantly auditioning to be in his fan club. She added that Trump handles criticism with the urgency of someone swatting bees. Frantic, dramatic, and guaranteed to make the situation worse. People in the audience were leaning on each other for balance. She said Trump treats public opinion like a roller coaster. He built himself even though nobody asked for the ride, and most participants want to get off. The expression on her face stayed calm the whole time, which only made the humor hit harder.
Gave him a little love when he came out. He was checking to see if Elon made himself pregnant too. These guys, their relationship is like a Cybertruck. It's cold one minute, on fire the next. I guess they made up. Don't forget, Musk publicly threatened to drop a big Epstein bomb on Trump. But now I guess they're cool. It was a parade of the unpleasant, and no one seemed to be enjoying themselves less than Melania. That is the look of someone who's wondering when Congress is going to vote to release her. So they ate, and then Trump kept the party going at the U.S.-Saudi Investment Forum, where Prince Salman and the Burger King made a very dramatic entrance. What's going on? Are they about to wrestle the Iron Sheik? What is happening? Once the music stopped, the real show started. Trump, say what you will about him, when he's in front of a specific group of people, like he was at this Saudi investment thing, he has an uncanny ability to zero in on the issues that matter most to them.
They started screaming at me, eggs, eggs! At the White House, we have an Easter egg hunt. We buy thousands of eggs. And people come from all over, thousands. They asked me, sir, would it be possible this year to buy plastic eggs? I said, I'm not buying plastic eggs. The kids are going to pick up an egg. They're going to, what the hell kind of an egg is this? And we bought maximum number of regular eggs.
We bought maximum number of regular eggs. He speaks like he's translating himself from Russian into English.
Whoopi took the momentum and escalated. Now he was riffing on Trump's social media presence like it was a one-man Broadway show with no script and too much improvisation. She described Trump tweeting with the intensity of someone trying to fuse a bomb, but somehow always cutting the wrong wire. She roasted Trump's attempts to sound profound, comparing them to fortune cookies generated by malfunctioning software. One audience member clapped so hard that a stagehand handed them water. Whoopi leaned back in and made the entire room feel like they were at a roast disguised as a therapy session. She joked that Trump treats every setback as though he's in the finale of a melodramatic soap opera titled The World Is Unfair Featuring Me. Every sentence amplified the comedy, and Whoopi presented it as if she were just reporting facts from the world's most chaotic biography. The way she delivered the lines, slow, clear, and casually devastating, had the audience trapped between laughter and disbelief. Jimmy re-entered like a sitcom uncle returning from commercial break, ready to keep the fire pit burning. He roasted Trump's speeches, comparing them to motivational seminars where the speaker keeps forgetting the topic. He made a bit about Trump repeating the same phrases like a toy with 3 pre-recorded sound bites. The joke landed so hard that the studio band practically folded over their instruments.
As it turns out, I was filthy.
She was so filthy dirty, disgusting. Half the place left. I said I'd never hire her again.
I was filthy. And stand on that fact. I have always been filthy. And you knew that when you hired me. I headlined, babe, at your casino, which I might have continued to play had you not run it into the ground.
Exactly.
But
Does that?
you know, listen, how dumb are you? You hired me 4 times. You can go to William Morris and get the things, because I know you all are going to be looking for it. So talk to William Morris. You hired me 4 times, and you didn't.
Be swooped back with her trademark smirk, ready to drop more comedic artillery. She riffed on Trump's legal troubles like they were collectible trading cards, each one shinier and more absurd than the last. The audience howled as she described Trump reacting to new charges the same way someone reacts when a bill arrives at a restaurant, and they're sure they didn't order that many appetizers. Whoopi didn't even pause between punchlines. She flowed through them like a comedian who'd found her ultimate playground. The audience applauded so long that Jimmy had to talk over them just to continue. Nothing was off limits. Trademark facial, expressions, overconfident gestures, dramatic interviews. Jimmy tore into all of it with precision. Whoopi wrapped her next set around Trump's public statements, presenting them as bold declarations that age like dairy. The punchline detonated. She roasted his habit of changing narratives mid-sentence, as if plot twists applied to real-life logic. She acted out his confidence the way an actor plays royalty in a community theater performance. And the audience was nearly crying from laughter at the exaggerated swagger.
He's going to take it, he's going to fly and use it, but he's not supposed to have it. I got the Constitution right here. He's not supposed to have the plane, okay? You know, and if you know, people always want us to be respectful and do the things and talk about the stuff we talk about. We can do all of that. But when you are blatantly giving the country the middle finger, that is blatant. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to take
Jimmy returned with a breakdown of Trump's rallies like they were rapidly assembled concerts where only one performer knows the lyrics. He described the energy like a fan club meeting run by the mascot. Every metaphor was more absurd than the last, and the audience kept getting louder. Trump's mannerisms, hand gestures, dramatic pauses. Jimmy exaggerated all of them in the most theatrical way possible, almost daring production crew to intervene. Whoopi fired the next volley with surgical precision. She roasted how Trump narrates his own life like he's a hero of a fantasy trilogy. Even though the plot twists keep going sideways, the laughter was nonstop, and Whoopi treated it as if she were simply doing her public duty. Jimmy pushed forward with commentary on Trump's public feuds, making them sound like reality show drama written by a committee of middle schoolers. Every reference layered absurdity on absurdity, with Jimmy acting out exaggerated reactions that sent the front row into a meltdown. He described Trump as someone who loves conflict the way cats love knocking things off tables. Not because it's personal, but because chaos is fulfilling.
Epstein's wing woman, you know, she had that meeting with Trump's deputy attorney general and former personal lawyer over the summer, and then coincidentally got moved right out of regular prison and into the kind of prison Felicity Huffman was in for getting her kid into college. Under the Bureau of Prisons policy, convicted sex offenders like Maxwell are not typically eligible for minimum security, but I guess 34-time convicted felons aren't typically eligible to be president of the United States either. So thanks to Trump, she now gets all these perks, including playtime with a puppy, which makes sense. She is the world's most famous living groomer.
Whoopi approached the finale with quiet confidence. She recapped Trump's legacy of attention-seeking, like it was an Olympic sport he trains for year-round. She mentioned his need to remain in the spotlight, the way some people need oxygen. Every line was a comedic sledgehammer delivered as calmly as a bedtime story. The audience was exhausted from laughter, but she kept going with one last perfectly timed roast. He made Trump sound like a person whose true passion wasn't politics, business, interviews, or influence, but drama for drama's sake. Every metaphor got bigger, every description more exaggerated, and the audience's laughter rose with each one. The final punchline hit like an explosion, followed by applause so loud the stage monitors rattled. Whoopi returned for the closer with total poise, concluding that all the chaos, the attention, the theatrics, and scandals added up to one undeniable truth. Trump lives for the spectacle, and no one loves giving him a comedic wake-up call more than the two of them. She said it like a mic drop without actually dropping anything.
This will also be decided. This is the part that really tickles me. It's going to be decided by some of the same Justice Department lawyers who worked with him on these past cases. So Americans, the question is, are you on board with all of this? This is like a cash grab.
Yeah.
And your taxes are probably going to be paying for that.
That ballroom.
I mean, it's kind of kooky.
By the end of the night, one fact remained beyond doubt. When Jimmy and Whoopi decide it's roast season, Trump is the main course. No escape button, no quiet exit, no dramatic plot twist to reverse the burn. Just pure unfiltered comedy, doing what it does best. Turning chaos into entertainment so sharp the aftershocks echo long after the cameras stop rolling. Jimmy jumped right back in, as if the roast had refilled him with energy instead of draining it. He zeroed in on how Trump reacts to criticism, the way raccoons react to shiny objects. Unpredictable, frantic, and somehow deeply committed. She framed Trump like a man who thinks every day is a historic moment, even if he spent it losing arguments in his own comment section. She painted him as someone who wakes up, convinced history books are waiting to update themselves according to his mood. Then she layered on the idea that he handles bad news the same way sitcom parents handle broken windows, with denial, bargaining, and dramatic finger-pointing. The laughter rose again, and Whoopi didn't need to crack a smile to keep the momentum. Jimmy stepped back in, circling the topic of Trump's press appearances like a comedian selecting fireworks, every punchline bigger than the last. He made it sound like Trump treats interviews as theatrical performances where the audience is supposed to applaud before they understand what's happening. He exaggerated Trump's gestures, his pacing, the signature self-importance. Everything amplified until people in the studio looked like they were physically holding their ribs.